Hey, what's up guys? Dr. Rad here. Today's lesson is going to be about graphing linear inequalities. Good thing about that is that it's very similar to graphing a linear equation, where you use the y-intercept first, use the slope to graph your next point, and then draw your line. A couple notes before we begin. If your equation happens to have y is less than or equal to, okay, go ahead and write that down. Because it has this equal sign right here, that's going to give you a solid line. Okay, what do I mean by a solid line? I literally mean a solid line, just like if it were an equation. Okay, now if your symbol is less than or equal to, like this, or in other words, if the alligator is not eating the y, right? Pretend this is an alligator. Then you are going to shade the bottom. And I like to shade by doing hash marks, kind of like that. Okay, so this means shade the bottom. Okay. So we learned two things so far. If there's an equal sign under the inequality symbol, you're going to have a solid line. If the alligator is ignoring the y, or if your symbol is less than or equal to, you're going to shade the bottom of your line. Okay? Now, the opposite of that would be if our y is greater, you may notice that there is no inequality sign, no equal sign under this inequality. So this means this is a dotted line. Like so. If it's dotted, that means that any point on this line is not a part of your solution. If it's a solid line, that means any point on that solid line is a part of your solution. So right now, any point on this line, because it's dotted, is not a part of your solution. Now the next part, if the alligator is eating the y, or your symbol is greater than or equal to, you are going to shade the top. That's saying all your solutions are going to be above the line. Okay? Let's begin. Our first equation is going to be y is greater than 2x minus 4. Okay? This is a system of inequalities, so there has to be more than one. Our second one is going to be y is less than or equal to negative 3/2 x plus 3. Okay? Both of these are already in slope-intercept form. You may run into some that you need to manipulate into slope-intercept form. But for this example in this video, we're going to use them as is. Okay, I'm going to start with the first line. You start with your y-intercept first. Our y-intercept is negative 4. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And put my y-intercept. Next, I'm going to look at my slope. I'm going to write it as a fraction of 2 over 1. That means rise 2 and to the right 1 because they are both positive. So I'm going to rise 2 over 1, up 2. And I'm going to put a few points just to make sure I do a nice straight line. Okay, next. My inequality does not have a equal sign, so this is going to be a dotted line going across my whole graph, my whole coordinate plane. Okay. And next, my alligator is eating the y, or my symbol is greater than, so they want things above the line. Okay, so we are going to shade the top. And I'm just going to give myself a little symbol by doing hash marks. Okay, this means that solutions to this line are all above. Okay, above the line, not including the line because it is dotted. Next, we're going to graph our next line. Positive 3 is our y-intercept. I'm going to go up 3. Okay, my slope is down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. My inequality does have an equal sign this time, so I'm going to do a solid line. Of course, a ruler would work best. And this time, my alligator is not eating the y, or it is a less than or equal to symbol, so I'm going to shade the bottom of the black line. Okay. Next, I need to shade the area of the graph that not only works for one of my lines, but works for both lines. Basically, which area can be shaded and it would give you solutions to both of these lines. Okay. In the bottom, they did want you to shade the bottom of the black, but they wanted the top of the blue. So this does not work. This area does not work. These are not solutions to both. Same here. Actually, none of these work. Okay, they didn't want this area shaded at all. This area only works for the blue line. But if you notice this left side, right, it has shaded area for both. That means these are the solutions to the system of inequalities. If you want to write solutions, that would work. Okay, what we're saying here is that any point in this area, any point here, any point would work for both of these inequalities. Okay? If it lands on this solid line, that's a part of the solution. If it were to land on this dotted line, though, that is not a part of your solution. Okay? So that was graphing inequalities. I'm Dr. Rad. I hope to see you later. Oh, you can't even see my dance moves. Man, next time I'll put some footwork in there.